Hello, I'm Lewis Robinson, here to talk to you about Curbside Composting. And this is my audience member, my lovely mother. Yes, she is my actual mother. Alright, first off, we all heard of Oscar the Grouch, the well-known Muppet character on Sesame Street. However, what we don't know about Oscar the Grouch is that he loves his trash so much and he's hoarding it when it could be used to recycle and reuse for energy purposes. Now, I have personally done research on the topic of curbside composting and discovered that according to MotherJones.com, San Francisco is the shining beacon of decaying organic matter. 16 years into their program, the city collects 600 tons of yard and food waste every day. Everything comes down to waste. Specifically, the amount of waste we produce that adds to pollution, the quality of land, and less energy being produced. The purpose of this speech is to provide the audience with a sense of obligation to promote curbside composting to help reduce, store, and improve the quality of life for citizens. The question then becomes, how does curbside composting benefit the environment, the health, or the wealth of this nation? In order to fully explore the idea of taking decaying matter and reshuffling it into a beneficial part of the community, we must first identify the aspects of landfills and composting. First, we will dumpster dive into some of the problems, before secondly, filtering through the trash to find the causes, then finally, taking the trash out to the curbside composting bin to find some solutions. The current problems facing our planet today is greenhouse gases and greenhouse emissions and the most improper waste management, specifically when handling our trash. The biggest offenders of improper waste management are contributing to climate change and the rise in temperatures. One of the biggest problems in landfills is that according to the Environmental Protection Agency, last accessed September 11, 2012, many new landfills collect potentially harmful gas emissions. Now this is a huge problem because these gases include one of the most harmful gases of all, methane. According to MotherJones.com, September 10, 2012, methane is 20 times more potent than other greenhouse gases. And while dumps can capture some of the gas, most of it that's being released is just being let go into the atmosphere. Now, methane is similar to CO2 in the sense that it contributes to greenhouse gas pollution. However, methane actually stays in the atmosphere longer and traps heat more efficiently than any other greenhouse gas. According to NPRnews.org, January 26, 2010, molecule for molecule, methane is much more effective than carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere. So not only are these gaseous agents harmful for the environment, but they're also harmful to our health. Moving on to the next would be the causes. The causes of these problems would be the waste management industry. Many waste management industries see curbside composting as a threat to their business. For example, according to the MotherJones.com, September 10, 2012, their business model is based on controlling the landfills and ensuring that a lot of materials go there, regardless of whether it's supposed to be there or not. This business model, although it looks good on paper, is not very efficient. It actually harms the environment and impedes progress for alternative energy sources. According to NPR News, January 26, 2012, since methane is the main ingredient in natural gas, efforts to capture it actually pays for itself in the long run. Thus, we can use this gas for energy sources, which means that the impact of methane gas is having on our communities because the ones that are in charge of keeping track of how much waste we store are not taking advantage of all the benefits that this gas provides. Almost half of the waste that is thrown away is good for composting and recycling. And if not, these companies keep putting it in their landfills and they're basically losing money. And they're hiring lobbyists to fight for these rights. According to MotherJones.com, September 10, 2012, Waste Management also has a lot of political muscle. The company spent $730,000 on federal lobbying in 2012. It also has political action committees that spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on federal candidates. The only way to curb this enthusiasm for wasted waste is to take action. In order to keep moving forward, we as people must push legislation promoting this curbside composting. According to MotherJones.com, September 10, 2012, the US EPA found that composting all the food scraps in California alone would cut emissions by 5.8 million metric tons each year. Now this number is a significant amount of emissions that will no longer be polluting our lungs, streams, or our children. According to MotherJones.com, the US creates 250 million tons of trash in 2010, and 34% of which was diverted from waste streams to composting or recycling. This significant number could be redirected into creating energy and thus create more green jobs for the future. Now I call you to action, and I urge you to write your congressman demanding that he or she promote curbside composting as a way to create jobs, protect the environment, and our health. I ask that you read the labels on your recycling bins and recycle as necessary, and start a composting pile and use it for mulch for your urban garden, or just put it in the grass. And finally, in conclusion, we first went dumpster diving and found some of the stinky problems. Secondly, we filtered out the causes of improper waste management before finally composting some solutions. The idea of taking decaying matter and reshuffling it to benefit most people was identified as the key aspects in landfilling and composting dilemmas. Now we discovered that curbside composting not only helps the environment, but could also improve health, and the gas could be sold for energy. In the end, everything comes down to how much we waste.